This is why women return after no contact, the level of a high-value man. Ever wonder why, after all the silence, she can't resist coming back? It's not by chance. When a high-value man goes silent, he becomes magnetic, unforgettable. This isn't about games. It's about becoming the man she can't stop thinking about. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let me show you why leveling up keeps her wanting more. Section 1. Understanding the power of no contact. What does it really mean? When most people hear no contact, they might think of it as a game to make someone miss them. But for a high-value man, it's a far more profound process, one rooted in personal empowerment and transformation. Going silent isn't about manipulating emotions. It's a powerful statement of self-respect and independence. This period allows him to step away, not in desperation, but to prioritize his own growth and focus entirely on becoming a better, more complete version of himself. No contact for him is a deliberate choice. It's not just creating space, it's reclaiming it. This time away is sacred, a period dedicated to self-discovery, self-improvement, and recalibration. By pulling back, he's choosing to take charge of his life rather than letting his happiness depend on anyone else's actions or validation. He may reevaluate his goals, dive into long-neglected passions, or confront weaknesses that he's ready to overcome. This time isn't empty silence. It's filled with the sound of progress. While he's absent, he knows she might wonder what he's doing, why he's pulled away, and if he's changed. And indeed, he is changing. The absence he creates doesn't just leave her to miss him. It allows her to sense that he is shifting, growing, and redefining himself. She's left to wonder what kind of man he'll be when he returns, while he's busy becoming the man he knows he can be, stronger, more confident, and entirely at peace with who he is. No contact becomes a time for him to reinforce his standards, develop his independence, and cultivate a magnetic confidence that others can't help but notice. By the time he returns, he's someone worth missing, someone worth remembering, and more importantly, someone who now defines his own worth. Section 2. Building self-respect and boundaries, setting the stage for respect. One of the most essential traits of a high-value man is self-respect, and no contact is his opportunity to rebuild or reinforce that foundation. When he pulls away, he doesn't do so with resentment or bitterness, but rather as a show of respect for himself and the standards he's chosen to live by. This period is essential for defining what he will and will not accept, not just in relationships, but in all areas of his life. He's not just drawing lines for others, he's creating a lifestyle rooted in respect. During this time, he evaluates past interactions, including those with her, and asks himself, what patterns am I allowing? What boundaries have I overlooked? And how can I create a life where I'm respected for who I am? It's not just about setting boundaries to shield himself from pain. It's about establishing a standard for how others will treat him. He isn't afraid to demand respect, not because he's defensive, but because he's aware of his worth and won't settle for less. He is setting the tone for the kind of interactions he desires, sending a clear message that if someone wants to be in his life, they must meet him with respect and value. When a man begins to truly respect himself, people around him can feel it. It's like an invisible force that draws others in and subtly commands their respect. She might notice that he no longer bends to her whims, that he's unapologetically himself, and that his time and attention are now precious commodities. This level of self-respect, this clarity of what he wants and deserves, is incredibly attractive. It pulls her in, not because he's playing hard to get, but because she realizes she's now dealing with someone who values himself deeply, And in the process, she's left questioning if she's meeting that standard and if she's ready to respect the boundaries he's created. Section 3. Personal growth. During silence, becoming irresistible by leveling up. In the world of high-value men, silence is never empty. When he goes no contact, it's a time of intense, transformative personal growth. Instead of fixating on why she's not around, he's using this period to invest in his mind, body, and spirit. His focus shifts entirely to becoming the best version of himself, and this process creates an aura of intrigue and strength that's hard to ignore. In this period, he hits the gym regularly, working on his physical health not just to look good, but to feel strong, disciplined, and in control. Each workout is a testament to his dedication, a way of proving to himself that he can push through limits and reach new heights. The physical changes are visible, and they send a powerful message of transformation. But his growth isn't just physical. He might dive into books that expand his mind, exploring topics he's curious about, or sharpening his knowledge in areas that matter to him. Knowledge is a form of self-investment that changes how he thinks and interacts, giving him a depth that's magnetic. This phase also allows him to work on his mental resilience. Instead of feeling abandoned or seeking validation, he builds a mindset of independence, resilience, and positivity. He challenges old patterns, evaluates his weaknesses, and finds new ways to overcome them. Every day, he's moving closer to his ideal self, stepping into his full potential without needing anyone else's validation. The changes are subtle yet profound, building a kind of confidence that draws people to him naturally. By the time he's ready to reconnect, he's a new person, someone who radiates strength, self-assurance, and a quiet charisma that's hard to ignore. She can't help but notice this transformation, feeling drawn to him not because he's the same person she knew, but because he's now someone who represents growth, strength, and authenticity. Section 4. Mastering emotional independence, creating magnetic confidence. One of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess is emotional independence. While some people rely on others for their happiness, a high-value man creates his own. No contact gives him the chance to build and reinforce this independence, separating his emotional well-being from any external source, including her. This doesn't mean he doesn't care, but rather that he's strong enough to be at peace with or without her presence. He's emotionally resilient and grounded, and this quality makes him irresistibly attractive. During this time, he practices controlling his emotions, staying calm and centered, even in the face of uncertainty. Instead of reaching out to her for reassurance, he finds stability within himself. This period is about redefining his happiness, focusing on what truly fulfills him, and realizing that he doesn't need anyone else to feel complete. He cultivates hobbies, pursues goals, and finds joy in his own company, which naturally builds a level of confidence and self-assurance that few people possess. Emotional independence isn't something that can be faked. She can feel this shift in him, this new sense of self-sufficiency, and it's incredibly attractive. He's no longer waiting for her to come back or depending on anyone to fill a void. Instead, he's solid, content, and in control of his own happiness. This inner peace and confidence make him the kind of man who stands out because he's different from others who might cling or chase. She's drawn to him not because he's distant, but because his energy speaks of a man who's found his own path, one she may want to join. Section 5. The return, allowing her to meet you at your level. When the time is right, a high-value man might choose to re-establish contact, but this isn't a return to the same dynamic as before. Now, he's someone different, someone she may barely recognize because of the depth of his transformation. This is not about returning to chase or plead for attention. Instead, he allows her the chance to reconnect with a version of him that's now operating on a higher level. She feels this difference instantly, sensing that he's become someone who knows his worth and won't settle for anything less. As they reconnect, he's not immediately available. His time and attention are now precious commodities, and he's careful about who he shares them with. His confidence, growth, and self-respect create a natural barrier that others must meet if they want to be a part of his life. She realizes that if she wants to be in his world again, she must bring her best self. This is his silent, unspoken challenge to her, to rise to meet him at his level. In the end, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about creating a life so fulfilling, a presence so strong that others can't help but be drawn to it. She comes back not because he forced her to, but because she sees the man he's become, a man of value, strength, and deep confidence. And in that moment, she realizes she's no longer the one with the power. Now, it's his choice, his decision, and she can only hope to earn a place in the life he's created. Section 6. Cultivating a sense of purpose. Making your life bigger than any relationship. One key trait that separates high-value men from the rest is their sense of purpose. During no contact, he doesn't just fill time with hobbies. He dedicates himself to a vision, something larger than any single relationship. A purpose-driven man is incredibly attractive because he's focused on creating meaning in his life beyond romantic connections. This purpose fuels him, giving him something to strive for every day, and it provides him with a powerful sense of direction that makes him resilient, grounded, and unshakable. Finding and nurturing this purpose takes time, and no contact gives him the freedom to explore his passions and goals without distraction. He may dive into projects he cares about, build his career, or engage in creative outlets that allow him to express his deepest self. By dedicating his energy to something meaningful, he isn't just improving himself. He's constructing a life filled with depth and purpose, a life that naturally attracts others to him. When she senses this change, she realizes he's no longer just the man she knew, but someone who's carved out a significant place in the world for himself. This sense of purpose shines through, making him magnetic and drawing her back. Not just because she misses him, but because she's curious about the journey he's on. She's attracted to the fact that his life is now bigger than their relationship ever was, creating a pull that's impossible to ignore. Section 7. Practicing emotional resilience. Handling setbacks and challenges alone. Life doesn't stop for anyone, and challenges are a constant. But a high-value man uses the time apart to develop his emotional resilience, facing and overcoming life's obstacles with strength and poise. While many people might turn to a partner for comfort or support, he uses no contact to strengthen his ability to handle setbacks independently. This self-reliance builds a type of internal stability that sets him apart, as he becomes someone who doesn't crumble under pressure but rises to meet it. He practices managing his emotions without relying on external validation or sympathy, facing his fears and insecurities head-on. Whether it's dealing with financial challenges, family issues, or work-related stress, he learns to find solutions on his own, developing a deep sense of pride in his ability to overcome. This resilience doesn't just make him stronger, it redefines how he approaches relationships. He no longer needs anyone to solve his problems, making him a partner who can offer support rather than depend on it. When they reconnect, she notices this shift. He's someone who's capable of handling anything that life throws his way, with or without anyone by his side. This emotional resilience, this strength in the face of adversity, creates a deep respect and admiration. She realizes that he's no longer the same person he was before. and she's drawn to his ability to stand tall even when faced with challenges. Section 8. Embracing self-care and wellness, becoming a man of health and balance. Self-care isn't just about looking good, it's a form of respect and care for one's own body, mind and soul. During no contact, a high-value man invests deeply in self-care and wellness, understanding that his physical and mental health are pillars of his success and happiness. He focuses on a balanced lifestyle, cultivating habits that contribute to his well-being, from regular exercise to nutritious meals, quality sleep, and stress management practices. This wellness journey goes beyond the physical. It's about finding balance and creating routines that support his growth and peace of mind. He might explore meditation, journaling, or mindfulness techniques to build mental clarity and emotional calmness. Taking time for himself allows him to recharge, and this investment in his wellness creates an aura of vitality and strength that others find incredibly attractive. When she reconnects with him, she sees the changes, not only in his physical appearance, but in his energy, calmness, and balance. He's become someone who takes care of himself, who values his well-being, and who respects his own health enough to make it a priority. This commitment to self-care isn't just appealing, it shows that he's capable of taking care of others too, making him someone she's naturally drawn to and admires. Section 9. Developing new skills and talents, expanding his horizons and capabilities. A high-value man is always learning, growing, and expanding his skills. No contact is his time to explore new interests and master new talents that make him a more well-rounded person. He understands that skills are assets, tools that enhance his value, and he dedicates himself to becoming more capable and knowledgeable. This might mean learning a new language, picking up an instrument, enhancing his professional skills, or diving into a creative outlet that he's passionate about. Each new skill or talent he develops isn't just about improving himself. It's about creating a life rich in experiences, knowledge, and expertise. This journey of learning broadens his horizons, giving him depth and character that people around him find magnetic. These skills are not for show, but serve as ways for him to live a more fulfilling and enriched life, adding layers to who he is as a person. When he reconnects, she senses this new level of depth. He's not the same man she once knew. He's now someone with fresh passions, someone who's embraced new talents, and someone who's invested in his own growth. This shift is powerful. It shows that he's a man with curiosity, ambition, and a commitment to lifelong learning. She's intrigued and feels compelled to know this new him, realizing he's leveled up in ways that make him far more captivating than before. Section 10. Redefining his values and priorities, living with integrity and purpose. Time apart gives him space to redefine what truly matters in his life. A high-value man doesn't live by the expectations of others. He lives by his own values, grounded in integrity and authenticity. During no contact, he takes a hard look at his values, reassessing his priorities and deciding what's worth his time and energy. He makes sure that everything he does aligns with these values, making his life a true reflection of who he is. This period of reflection allows him to clarify what he stands for, whether it's integrity, honesty, respect, or ambition. He builds his life on these values, letting go of anything that doesn't resonate with his principles. This integrity isn't just admirable, it's rare, and people can feel its strength when they're around him. Living by his values makes him trustworthy, genuine, and someone who inspires respect in everyone he encounters. When he reconnects, she's drawn to this unwavering commitment to his values. He's become someone who knows exactly what he wants and what he stands for, and he's unafraid to live his life accordingly. This clarity, this authenticity, is deeply appealing. She realizes that he's now someone who has raised his standards, someone who holds himself to a higher level, and she can't help but feel drawn to this version of him, a man who lives with integrity, purpose, and unshakable confidence. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to level up and want more insights, hit like, subscribe, and join our journey to becoming truly high value. See you in the next one.